Mary Ann Ahern joins us. We love Mary Ann
We
from
love
NBC5.
Mary Ann.
Hey, good morning.
How are you?
Hi.
Good.
Nice to talk to you again. You know, we walk the same halls here at NBC, and I always think I'm going to run into you. You're never there. Do you duck in a door when you know I'm coming? Is that the deal?
Here's you choking. She's like, I'm out.
Yeah, I used to see you more often when we were in COVID protocol. I was up there with you guys on a different floor, but I'm back in the newsroom.
Well, thank goodness for that. And I couldn't help but notice when you covered the mayor the other day, you were shouting completely appropriate questions at him. And you really threw him a bone, a favor, if you will, just saying, if you don't answer these questions, it looks like you're hiding something. And they did what politicians do. They walked out of the room. What are we supposed to make of that?
I know. I thought that was, oh my. It's a learning curve for everybody. But at the same time, this White Sox incident that happened on Friday.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So Monday morning, 3 days later, the interim police superintendent, Fred Waller, and the mayor are together. And did they not anticipate questions? I mean, they only allowed for three, and all three were about the White Sox. And we also had other questions to ask, but we didn't even get any answers on the White Sox. Clearly they didn't have any yet, but in fact, they made it more confusing. We did ask to close the game. No, we didn't ask to close the game. It was, and then we still, I'm looking at the paper early this morning to see what the latest is. And
There's no answers.
Well, our friend Peggy Kaczynski, doing her own reporting, of course, talked about this story yesterday, that this one of the women that was shot may have accidentally shot herself by allegedly carrying the gun in, quote, on her person, in her tummy rolls, and the gun may have gone off, which is just a bizarre story. So conspiracy theorists can stretch without hurting themselves too badly when they see the mayor lean in and ask the interim superintendent something, and then suddenly they stop the press conference.
And then brilliantly, NBC just leaves it on an empty stage while you're shouting questions like, what are you doing? I was just like, go, Mary Ann, because this is, wow, what am I watching?
Well, and we if we don't ask those questions, we are there to ask for everybody who's not. Mm-hmm. And in fact, listen, I get email a lot that says, you're rude and why, how dare you and all of that. But I also got a great one yesterday of someone who said, thank you. I can't be there. And I'm so glad you asked.
There's the job.
That's right.
So, it goes both ways. But, and you don't want to be disrespectful, but at the same time, they were disrespecting us.
Yeah.
And all of the public by having absolutely, if they didn't have any answers, maybe they should have started with that. But they had a lot of double talk.
Well, don't have the press conference. Don't take just don't take questions in. Just don't have it if you're going to stand up and not say anything. But that seems to be the problem in these first days of Brandon Johnson. It's a wonderful word salad where there's nothing in it, and you're getting almost no substance. And I don't know, the people you're talking to, are they frustrated by that? Is anybody talking to you about that?
Very much so. I don't know if you saw the 100-day interview.
We did.
Yeah.
That was on a Friday, which, of course, was supposed to be on a Monday or Tuesday. But it was moved to a Friday, and I kind of felt as if, maybe they think not as many people watch TV on Fridays. But, hey, whatever. Mm-hmm. We still posted online, and there were no answers. And we called them out on that. And it was the same campaign, safer, stronger, all those cliches. But no meat. No meat. We need stronger answers at this point. Can't even tell me how often he meets with Stacey Davis Gates. How often is she in the room? The migrants. How soon are we going to get some kind of? I know all of this. There's a lot being thrown at him, and boy, you went from Mr. Campaign to Mr. But you asked for this.
Yep.
This is the third largest city. If you're not ready and not prepared, that's a problem.
Is he just not surrounded by the right staff? I mean, where's his communications people?
Well, because if they postponed, they would probably, you would think, prep him for an interview with you that's happening 4 days later.
Yes, exactly. I wouldn't. They're okay. I wouldn't say. We just also lived through Lightfoot with her team that wasn't exactly. I wouldn't call them A+. if you're really going to go back and look at the people who know how to run a communications, it would have been Rahm's team.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you liked everything that he did, but, he had bright with it people that knew how to run the trains. And I'm not sure that yet we have that.
The way information is doled out now by politicians makes me crazy. See my website, see my social media. The rare sit down like the one you had. And out of respect, you should have that. There's a few people in town should have that. It's a very short list and you're on it. But the idea that there's not a weekly press conference, and I mean a real press conference, we're going to stand up there for an hour and take the heat. It's outrageous that it doesn't happen that way. And the frustrating thing for me, Mary Ann, is I continue to see, for instance, when it comes to the property tax question in Cook County, I continue to see Cook County residents and city residents go, well, that's what they do. Where there's a give up, there's
right.
we can't do anything about it, and that's really frustrating to me.
Very much. And a case of being a reporter, if we give up and not yell out a question now and then that's wrong too. If I'm just going to go, oh well, they didn't answer today, BS.
Right?
Yeah.
No. He's got a big month ahead here with his budget, and folks are going to really want to know what the details are. And one corporate guy says, yes to the millionaires tax. That's not gonna fly.
No.
You need a stronger support than one.
We also had a very bizarre moment recently where he quoted Tupac Shakur twice. In reference to, I don't know how we all should get along or how we should answer. I still don't know what he meant, but he quoted him twice. Now I'm going to be gentle here and just say the following: you're talking to white people and black people and brown people and people of all colors because you're the mayor of this gigantic city and you have this huge responsibility. You should no more be quoting Tupac Shakur than you should be quoting Perry Como. You should be speaking in terms where you're not put in some sort of column that you're clueless. Do his people understand that?
I'm not sure. No. No. At this point, it is, and as it always is, it's an us against them that we are wrong. That how dare we? And that was about Dr. Arwady being fired. He certainly has the right to pick his own team. You win, you get to pick your own team. It was the way she was fired
right.
that we had questions about.
Also on a Friday.
And you notice that there's no replacement yet. And here we head into the flu, COVID rising season, all kinds of things. Wouldn't you think you'd want to have someone in place at the health department, especially if you knew you wanted her out way back 6 months ago?
Yeah. A plus B equals C, and C is supposed to be your solution. You don't have a B there. You got your A as the firing, and you didn't do it. You had somebody else do it. You tried to hide it. And it's not like Dr. Allison Arwady was a problem worker.
Exactly.
I don't get. Well, listen, you can't quit. You can't stop. We need you.
Oh man, you got me for a while.
Yeah, we need you out there.
Yeah, and Mary Ann, you covered Johnson during the campaign. We saw you at campaign or election day. You've been at press conferences with him. You've had this face-to-face. Do you have any confidence, and maybe you can or cannot say this, in his leadership ability, or is this just a learning curve and we'll start seeing that leader?
Yeah, that is such a great question that I've thought of myself. I do think he's very strong in bringing people together. That part is correct. But, it is the devil's in the detail. Do you know how to make a deal? Do you understand all the various components? And perhaps that's what's coming at him right now, that he's like, whoa, this is a little harder than I thought it was going to be. But yes, he does have a quality about him that is charismatic, and people want to hear what he has to say. But that aside, that isn't all that makes for a good mayor, senator, governor, whoever. Yeah, you've got to know how to make the deal when there's a lot of different sides. Not everyone is into all of his ideals. I said, how do you bring those people together?
Yeah, and this is a bigger topic. We can take on it another time. But there is the smartest people, and believe it or not, Giuliani at one point was one of these people. Giuliani was on his game. He knew how to work New York media unbelievably when he was mayor. But by work it, I mean he knew that he was better at his job and more in tune with the things he had to get done because he had to be prepared for the questions he had to face, and he was willing to face the questions and stand up. That's old school Giuliani. Back in the day, Giuliani. Right. These mayors and governors and people that are hiding behind their websites and social media now would be better at their jobs if they prepared for the questions from the most educated and toughest people that were coming after them. That's all.
Right. Amen.
All right. Join me for next Sunday's sermon, will you?
Amen. Oh, my. Well, check in again. I'll let you know how it's going, but right now it's a bit rocky.
You're
Hang
always
in there,
welcome
Mary Ann.
here, Mary Ann, and keep the faith because we're right behind you at a safe distance. Thank you.
I'm not to be their friend, so rocky is okay.
That's right. That's exactly right. Thanks for coming on.
right.
We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.